Hey guys, so today I thought I would share with you some of my favorite tips for kind of dipping your toe into colorful makeup, especially if you are someone who typically likes to stay within your comfort zone of neutrals, and maybe you're someone who kind of feels intimidated by color. These tips are especially for you because I used to be one of those people, and lately I've really gotten into more colorful makeup, and a lot of these tips are things that have helped me kind of get outside my comfort zone a little bit. And honestly, lately I feel like more often than not I'm wearing some sort of colorful eye look. So if you're new to my channel, I just want to give you a quick welcome. I'm so excited to have you. My channel is really all about helping you find new and creative ways to use the makeup that you have. So if that sounds like fun to you, I'd love to have you subscribe. Also, quick announcement, because I keep forgetting to mention this in my videos, but I started a second channel. It's really just going to be kind of like a just for fun type of thing. I'm probably only going to be posting on there like randomly whenever I feel like it, maybe once a week, something like that. But it's basically just for like more lifestyle type of videos, so it's gonna have some like things like vlogs. My first video that I did was a grocery haul, maybe some cat content, just things that don't really fit here on this channel. It's called Sarah Rose Vlogs. I'll link it down below for you if you're interested in checking it out. I'd love to have you over there as well. But let's go ahead and get into these colorful makeup tips. One tip, and this is kind of like an overarching tip, but it is to play with one color at a time. Because I think where a lot of people get tripped up is when they think of like a colorful eyeshadow look, for example. They think that they need to somehow combine like a bunch of bright colors together for the look, but I would recommend just playing with one color at a time. So let's say one day you want to do a peach eyeshadow look, a pink look, a purple look, a green look. Start there, and from there you can kind of play and experiment and figure out how you like to wear that color. So one of my favorite tips, and I am wearing it today, is a colorful winged liner. You can do this with either a colored liquid liner that you have or a pencil, or you can also do it with an eyeshadow. So really any colored eyeshadow that you have. Today I'm wearing Coastline from Klarity Cosmetics, but I've done this with like lighter pastel colors. I've done it with like a bold orange before. A lot of my favorite shadows to do this with are the Klarity singles. Hot Cheeto is one of my favorites to do this with. I've done it with the green here, which is called Capri Sun. I'm sure the yellow would be really fun. I've also done it with quite a few of these like bold colors in the BH Summer in Saint-Tropez palette. And a lot of shadows, if the shadow itself is already very pigmented, typically I'm able to get a pretty nice sharp wing with just using like an angled liner brush. This one from BK Beauty is really nice. It's the 208. This is such a precise angled brush. It's super thin, so you can get a very precise, clean line with this. But any precise angled brush will do the trick. This is one from Profusion. It's actually called their angled brow brush. This came in a set from them a long time ago that I don't think they still sell, but lots of brands make a little angled brush like that. And I will just pick up some of the shadow on my brush and apply it like I would a winged liner. And typically that works for me. Now, if you're having trouble getting it to really show up and look as sharp as you want it, you can also wet your brush. Or a tip that I used today, I filmed a video using a bunch of your makeup techniques that you shared with me, and one of those tips was to layer like a white eyeliner underneath. So this is the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. If you have like a thinner eyeliner pencil, that would probably be even better, but just kind of draw a line with that first, then apply your eyeshadow on top of that. That'll help it pop even more. So thank you so much to the subscriber that shared that tip with me, because that was a really helpful tip, and I feel like that helped that eyeshadow pop even more, even though the shadow I'm using as liner today is already quite pigmented on its own, but it's looking like very bold today, so I love it. And that is such an easy way to incorporate color. It makes a statement, but it's still kind of subtle. So it's not like you've just got a bright color all over your eyelid and called it a day. It's a little more understated, which is personally kind of my makeup style as it is. Sorry, I feel like my hair clip is falling. But I feel like that's another way that people tend to scare themselves away from color, is they think colorful makeup automatically means super bold and bright. But colorful makeup can still be very subdued and soft. There's so many different ways to wear color besides just like a bold, hot pink all over your eyelid, for example, you know? I actually like to wear that colorful liner technique with no other eyeshadow on my lid. So I'll just apply like some eyeshadow primer, maybe like a face powder to set that in place, and then the winged liner. It makes such a statement. I feel like it just looks so crisp and clean that way. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of like an inner corner highlight One of my favorite looks that I think I've ever done was with the shade Jet Set from the BH palette, which is just a like straight up matte red eyeshadow, like a primary color red. And that's not a color I ever would have thought I would enjoy wearing on my eyes, but that looked so awesome. And I paired it with a red lip, so I created just kind of like a simple monochromatic look. It looked so classy and just a little unexpected, but really, really pretty. So if you have a red eyeshadow like that and you have no idea what to do with it, try that tip. I was very surprised by how much I liked it. Or I've also done that with like a hot pink and a hot pink lip. But today I've got like a blue wing and I felt like it paired well with these earrings that I have. So another great tip to kind of make your look more cohesive is to match one of your eyeshadow colors with your earrings or your jewelry, your shirt, your lip, to kind of create a more cohesive look that way. Another great tip is to wear your color on the inner corner, and I find that this works best with light colors because you kind of want your inner corner to feel like open and bright. I found that whenever I put a color in my inner corner that's deeper than my skin tone, it kind of just looks off. So I like to do this with like a light pastel yellow. I'm using this palette as an example a lot just because I feel like this is such a great palette for beginners to color because all the shades are amazing quality, but there are some kind of comfort zone shades in here as well, so you don't feel like you're just dipping into like a rainbow palette, even though it basically has every color of the rainbow in it. But I love doing that with this light yellow shade called Intoxicating in here, just a matte pastel yellow, and that works well because it's brighter than my skin tone, so it still looks brightening on the inner corner. But you could try that with really any pastel shadow. Like I've got some here from ColourPop. This is La Playa, Prowlin. Most of these are ColourPop singles. Any kind of light shimmery pastel shade is perfect for that technique. Another great way to introduce color to your look is to wear a bold, colorful lip, and either wear very simple eye makeup or even no eyeshadow and just like a little bit of liner and mascara. I feel like that's a very underrated but very confident looking makeup look. It's just like simple eyeshadow or no eyeshadow and then a bold lip. And this way you can kind of play around with different colors and undertones and see how they suit your skin tone, but you can do this with a bold red. I even have this like purple lipstick from Wet n Wild that sometimes can be fun to play around with, or an orange. And with those colorful lipsticks, a great way to kind of slowly ease yourself into wearing that lipstick, or if you find it a little bit too harsh on your skin tone, you can try wearing it as like a blotted lip, try shearing it out. And the way that I do that is just apply like a little bit to my lips, then blend that in with my finger, and I end up getting a much more sheer kind of blotted lip application. Another way to do that would be to go ahead and apply it opaque to your lips and then take a tissue and just blot off the excess, and you might find that to be a much more wearable version of that color. But I also totally recommend wearing it as like a full-on color as well. I think that just looks so bold and like, I don't know, I always feel so confident when I have a bold lip on. And that's a really easy way to add some fun color to your makeup look. You don't necessarily have to have the most advanced makeup skill level, but it's an easy thing to try. And a nice statement lip is a good way to get comfortable with the look of a bright color on your face. Okay, another one of my favorite tips is another very subtle one, but really fun, and that is to apply a bold color, any kind of bright color. I did this with a lime green one time, and I just applied it to kind of my outer corner. That was the only eyeshadow I wore that day. It was just a lime green. It was from the Profusion Spectrum palette, which I've since decluttered because it's not very good, but that's something I could easily do with really any color. You know, I could do it with this green from Klarity. The blue that I have as a liner today, that would look really cool, but you just kind of softly buff that into the outer V. It almost looks like a soft wash of like a watercolor on your eye, and it's just something a little abstract and different. Again, it doesn't require like the most advanced skill set of makeup application, but it's just a fun little pop of color. You could also try that on just like the inner corner of your eye, leave the rest of your eye bare, but this is what I'm talking about, like just focusing on one color at a time, even just one eyeshadow at a time, and testing out some of these techniques with that one color and just kind of seeing what you like. And my last tip is mainly for shimmers, but one of my favorite ways to do just an easy, colorful look is just a one and done eyeshadow look with kind of a foiled or metallic or even just shimmery shadow. I recently did that with this coral shade in the Flower Jungle Lights palette, and that was such a fun look. And I find that shades like this that are, it's not duochrome, but it's just got some kind of dimension to it because it's very foiled. Those are great for a one and done look because depending on what part of your eye it's on, it's going to catch the light differently. So you blend it up into the crease and that's going to look a little bit darker because of the shadow there. But because it's so foiled and shimmery, the center of your lid is going to look more shimmery and just bright. I've also done that with the green in here, the light purple. Did that also with this orange shadow from Klarity, Hot Cheeto. Orange is another color that I love to play with on my eyes. I feel like it's especially beautiful on blue eyes, but you can pull off any color no matter what your eye color is. But I feel like oranges and peaches and corals bring out blue eyes really, really beautifully. So I recommend trying out some colors that are kind of unexpected. Like I never would have thought orange or red would have looked good on my eyes because you would think that that would kind of bring out the red in your eyes and make you look sick, but I haven't really had that issue. Step outside your comfort zone, try new things. You might be surprised what colors you enjoy wearing. And lastly, really, the number one thing to keep in mind for all of these tips and anytime you're experimenting with color or any new makeup technique at all is to just have fun with it and not get discouraged if you do end up doing a look that you don't really like on yourself. In fact, I think you really should expect to occasionally do a look that you don't like. That happens to me all the time. I try something new, I try a different color combination, I'm like, that actually doesn't look very good. I just wash it off and start over, and it's no big deal. Nobody has to see it. I think that's just part of the process of learning a new skill and figuring out what kinds of colors and techniques you like on yourself. So don't get discouraged if you end up hating the look. You can always try again the next day or just wash it off and try again. It doesn't mean that you're bad at makeup. Yeah, I think it can be really fun to try something different that you've never done before. Even if you think you're gonna hate it, just give it a try. Especially like one of my favorite things to do is to just sit there when I know I'm not going anywhere, I know I don't have any obligations that day, or even if it's like at night and I'm getting ready to wash my face anyway, just sitting down and having some makeup playtime. You're not even necessarily trying to put together a cohesive look, but you're just trying different things, trying different products. There's no pressure whatsoever, and I think that's where some of the magic happens, is just kind of when you're sitting there playing around, experimenting. So have some fun, go have some fun with your colorful makeup. Those products that sit in your drawer and don't get used, go try them out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not already, and hopefully I will see you again very soon in my next video. Bye.